Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is an A2 level grammar lesson. We're continuing our study of simple verbs, specifically now the present simple. But this time we're going to be talking about the negative present simple as well as how to handle irregular verbs in present simple. So let's look at some examples below. Alexander plays the guitar. Oliver and Andrea read at night. And we work in a school. So this is just a review of some of the basic ways to form the present simple for different types of subjects. Here are a few more. Amanda watches TV every night. Susie teaches English at a school. Charlotte studies Chinese. So here, these are just demonstrating the special spelling rules for adding the S when the subject is he, she, or it. Here, because the verb ended in CH, we have to add an ES. Same thing here. Here, the original verb ended in a Y, so we changed the Y to an I and then added ES. So again, just to review, we use the present simple for something that is generally true or for habits. Children like candy. I run every evening. She wakes up at 6:30 a.m. Babies sleep a lot. And remember the endings for S, ES, and IES. So I study, you work, he runs, she watches, it flies, we laugh, they sleep. So we're going to complete these sentences about general truths using the present simple forms of the verbs in the boxes. The first is done for you. The earth moves around the sun. Go ahead and try the others on your own. Write down your answers and then restart the video when you're ready to check. Okay, the stars shine in the sky at night. A Lamborghini costs a lot of money. And water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Oliver likes sport. He runs in the park every day. Ryan always arrives late for work. My dog eats a bowl of meat every morning. The baby sleeps every afternoon at 2 p.m. We use adverbs of frequency with the present simple. So adverbs of frequency include words like always, never, often, usually, sometimes. And this kind of shows when we would use each of these adverbs. So if something happens 0% of the time, or we would say it never happens. If it happens about 15%, we would say sometimes, between more than 0, but between 0 and 15 sometimes. If it's more than 15%, but less than 60%, sorry, we could either say sometimes or often. Between 60 and 90, we could say often to usually. Usually between 90 and 100, and 100 would be always. Okay, so make some sentences about Carla. Remember the spelling rules and when to add the S. Go ahead and try that on your own and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So Carla likes to exercise and stay fit. She always eats healthy food and she never drinks cola. She often runs in the park and she sometimes swims in a swimming pool. All right, now make some sentences about yourself using often, never, sometimes, or always, and these will be different for every person, um, but go ahead and fill them in as if they're true for you. So for me, I would say I sometimes go to the cinema. I never play football with my friends. I sometimes go traveling to other countries. I never eat fast food like burgers and fries. I sometimes go to bed late at night. And I always read a book on the weekend. So, again, these might be different for you. Just make them true about yourself. So now we're going to unscramble the words to make sentences. So here's an example. We've got always Tom eat candy or eat early breakfast. So to put that into the proper form, it would be Tom always eats breakfast early. So the important thing to notice here is that the adverb of frequency always comes before the verb, comes in front of the verb. All right, so go ahead and try these on your own and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So they usually drink coffee in the morning. He sometimes forgets his car keys. Jane never drinks apple juice. Jenny always works late at the office. I often go to the cinema with my friends. And my cat always sleeps on the couch at night. All right, now we're going to start talking about the irregular verbs go, do, and have. So these verbs are irregular because they have different forms for he, she, and it. So when the subject is he, she, and it, they don't quite follow the rules that regular verbs do. So I often go to the cinema. She often goes to the gym. So here you notice that we added an es to the verb go to make the third person singular she goes. They do their homework. He does yoga on the weekend. So do is very similar to go. For the he, she, and it form, we would add an es. We have an old car. She has three sisters. So here the verb have is irregular. So you would to form the S form, you actually make a different word. She has three sisters. So these are some very common irregular verbs. There are lots of irregular verbs in English, but these are the ones that you'll probably use the most often, at least at first. So these would be the ones that I would recommend memorizing first. Go, do, and have. So I go, you go, he goes, she goes, it goes, we go, they go. I do, you do, he does, she does, it does, we do, they do. I have, you have, he has, she has, it has, we have, they have. All right, so we're going to practice forming present simple sentences using go, do, and have. The first one is done for you. My mother often goes to church on Sunday. So go ahead and complete the rest of these on your own. Pause the video and then restart when you're ready to check. So here we usually have dinner at 8 p.m. There's no S this time, and we don't use has because the subject is we. Geraldine never does her homework. Her mother is angry. And Mike and Sarah go to the beach every summer. All right, now you're going to use the verbs in the boxes to complete this story about Peter. Make sure you remember if the subject is he, she, or it to use the correct form. Go ahead and write down your answers and then restart when you're ready to check. Okay, my name is Peter and I'm 23 years old. I live in London, England. I have 3 sisters and a brother. I work in a hospital. Every day I go to work by train. My wife works in the same hospital, but she goes by car because after work she usually goes to the gym. All right, now you'll take these words and make some sentences from them. So the first example, always Tom eat early, should be Tom always eats breakfast early. Go ahead and try these on your own and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, so Alex has a dog called Toby. She always does her homework on the weekend. We sometimes go to the Indian restaurant. Harold and Lisa usually have breakfast at 8 a.m. I never go to bed early on the weekend. They do sport 3 times each week. All right, now we're going to talk about the negative of present simple. So we do not play basketball. Tom does not have a sister. She does not work at the office. So the form of the verb stays the same as in the positive form, and we simply add the word not after it. So when the subject is he, she, or it, we use does, but for everything else we use do. So I do not study, you do not have a sister, whatever. He does not go, she does not do, it does not fly, we do not argue, and they do not scream. You can also form these using a contraction. So the contracted form of do not is don't, and the contracted form of does not is doesn't. And it's more common in spoken English to use the contraction. So I don't study, you don't have, he doesn't go, she doesn't do, it doesn't fly, we don't argue, they don't scream. All right, now we're going to practice the present simple negative. So use the verbs from the boxes and complete the sentences, remembering to make it negative. So the first one is done for you. My mother does not cook on Tuesday nights. Okay, go ahead and try these on your own. Write down your answers and then restart when you're ready to check. So here they do not run in the winter. It's too cold. My grandmother does not drive a car. She takes the bus. They do not work on weekends. The office is closed. She does not play the piano. She plays the guitar. They do not listen to music after 10 p.m. Adrian does not eat fish. And they do not watch sports on TV. Here, this time you'll decide whether it is positive or negative. So the first one is done for you. They give you the verb have, and it would be he took the bus home because he does not have a car. Go ahead and try these on your own. Write down your answers and then restart when you're ready to check. I always go to school from Monday to Friday. She usually doesn't do yoga when she is tired. The baby cries every night. It is very loud. The plane sometimes flies on Monday and sometimes on Tuesday. She doesn't go swimming on Monday. The pool is closed on Monday. Celine usually drives to work in her new car. My mother cooks very tasty pasta. She doesn't teach on Saturday. It is her day off. I usually study every day after school. She never does exercise in the morning. She's too tired. My mother often goes shopping on Saturday morning. So that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, and if you have any questions, leave those for me in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.